One. This new month, so new subject matter that we get to play with. Julia's brought forward the Vispana practices, which, as most Buddhist practices, can be very simple and very deep and complex at the same time. So, as we play with this particular practice, we're going to simplify this evening and just call it looking deep within. And as we meditate this evening, we will do just that. We'll play with just looking in deep within. So, hope you enjoy that. So, let's just take a minute and get yourself settled into whatever meditative position works for you. Whether you're lying down, sitting upright, walking the dog, whatever works. As we get in touch with our breath, and you have a breathing exercise that works for you, by all means do so. I'm going to take 3 very slow, deep inhalations, filling both the abdomen and the chest. I'm going to hold for a slow count of 8. And I'm going to exhale for a slow count of 8. And I'm going to do that 3 times, and then we'll get started. As we settle in this evening, and you inhale, feel the oxygen as it comes in through the nostrils, fills the lungs, nourishes the body. And as you exhale, begin to let go of the day. And just breathe. Bring to mind any tension that might be between the ears, your forehead, down through the cheeks. Relax the jaw, down through the neck, and the shoulders, down past the arms, the elbows. And just let any tension drain out the palm of your hands. And just breathe. Bring to mind any meditation that might reside between the shoulder blades, in the chest, the abdomen, lower back, down through the hips, across the legs, past the knees, over the calves. And just let it drain out the bottoms of your feet. Mother Earth is happy to take it from you. And just breathe. This evening we're going to look deep. It brought forward for myself a very popular Buddhist parable, one that involves the 6 blind monks and an elephant. So just for a moment, imagine an elephant, 6 monks standing all around in a circle. And watch as each monk, each of them blind, takes time to reach out and touch the elephant. One monk is in the rear, a couple on each side, and one up front. Those of us that can all see has in our mind what an elephant looks like. But to 6 blind monks, all they have is what's in front of them. So they take a couple minutes and they feel around. And then the master comes up and asks each monk what they feel an elephant looks like. Obviously, the monk in the rear says, well, it's thin, has a long, thin neck, a fuzzy face, 2 big legs in the back. Doesn't smell very well. The monks on each side of the elephant described what they saw, what they felt. One monk says, I think an elephant has just one leg, very tall, big stomach. Another monk thought that his elephant had large ears, sharp pointy tusks, and one leg. The monk to the front thought the elephant looked like a large snake. And the other 2 monks described what they felt and saw as a blind person could, their version of the elephant. Oftentimes, when we look at something, we see that which is in front of us. And we wrap a truth around that particular vision, around that particular experience. And the people beside us may be looking at the exact same thing, and their truth may be different, their experience completely different. Person to our right or the person to our left may have a completely different concept of an elephant. As we keep this in mind, let's once again let the monks walk away and picture your elephant, whatever that may look like for you. Maybe a large African bull with large tusks. Maybe an Indian elephant with smaller ears that people like to ride. Maybe it's Dumbo, the cartoon elephant. Or a baby elephant hiding beneath its mother's legs. But just take a moment, and as you breathe, picture your elephant. Try to imagine it from looking above, down on the top. Imagine looking at it from the front and the sides. As best you can, capture your elephant in your mind and just breathe. Now gently walk closer to the elephant Imagine getting closer and approach just one of its front legs. Imagine walking up to this elephant and being only about a foot away. And looking straight ahead, now your perception is a little different. You'll see the leg in front of you. You look at one side, you might see the trunk out in front, the underside and the belly on the other side. You may look straight up and see big floppy elephant ears. But being so close, your perception has changed. Just take a moment and breathe. Now take a couple steps closer so that your nose is almost touching the elephant. As you look straight forward, because you're so close, all you see is gray, maybe a little wrinkly skin, but you can no longer see the leg as a whole, the head or the tail, just gray directly in front of you. Just breathe. Now imagine for a moment that you have X-ray vision. You're able to look straight ahead and see inside the elephant. You can see its bones and its organs. See its big heart that pumps thousands of gallons of blood throughout its body. You can see its bones, muscles. You can see up towards the head, see its brain. And as you look at this image of the elephant, you see all its pieces, parts, how they all come together, the bones and the muscle, the blood as it circulates. All these put together in rhythm as one create the elephant. As we stare deeper into the elephant, we look directly at the leg bone. We see the white of the bone. And imagine, if you will, how many millions and billions of little cells make up that elephant leg. Each individual cell has a duty, a purpose, a job. But trillions and trillions of cells all wrapped up into the leg of this one elephant, all working together to just hold this elephant upright, give it strength, allow it to move across the Serengeti. All these millions and billions of little cells. As you look even closer, you'll see how each cell is touching one another. Little membranes, little boundaries between each cell. All talking to one another, all sharing information on what to do and how to do it. And once again, look a little deeper at one individual cell. See all the little pieces, parts of the cell itself. They're little biological machines that take in energy and transfer information. And one of those itty bitty tiny cells are broken down even to smaller little electrons and neutrons and protons, little tiny balls of energy that dance around each other. Like all the stars in the universe, they all dance together, millions and billions within the one cell. All of this information, vibration, all being exchanged, all to let this one little cell know what it's supposed to do, when and how it's supposed to do it. And as you breathe, go a little deeper. See how that little tiny electron or proton is made up of even smaller parts. Neutrinos and quarks, subatomic particles, little balls of tiny energy. They rotate around each other like the planets do our sun. Little vibrating balls of energy. And as you go in a little deeper, the space between each of these subatomic particles gets further and further away. There's no end to how small we can go or how deep we can look. But as those little balls of energy fade off into the distance, you'll come upon empty space, a peace and a quietness as they continue to fade off into the distance. And just breathe. Infinite is the space between everything. Still and quietness, peace. And as we look into the space, the elephant no longer is. We just kept looking deeper and deeper till we found empty space. Silence in the stillness. And we breathe. And gently take a deep breath. Slowly back yourself back out of the electrons, back into the cell, back into the leg, back to standing outside the elephant, and back to where you started. Just breathe. And gently, slowly back yourself back to the room. And thanks, Julia. Thanks again, everybody. Beautiful, beautiful as always. Let's go ahead and get settled in, and we'll do a dedication of merit. There's the old adage of how do you eat an elephant? The answer is one bite at a time. This evening we brought forward elephants, different perspectives. We looked deep and deeper and deeper until we found emptiness. I have found that my problems can seem the size of an elephant, but if I stop and I look deeper and deeper and deeper, I tend to find empty space. As we go forward in our week, in our evening, in our month, may we recognize that everybody has an elephant, as Jake so eloquently stated. Have a wonderful evening, a great week. Namaste.